Reports claim Diddy's PR team recently suggested a plan to retaliate against Cassie after her courtroom testimony. I have to say, it sounds serious, even compared with Diddy's past controversies overall today right now.
Cassie basically expresses that she is scared for her life, for her safety and her family's safety. The main takeaway that I got from it is that she thinks that if Diddy is promptly released, one of his first acts is going to be to send people after Cassie and the other victims that spoke about, their allegations against him. She says that for this reason, she's moved her family out of New York entirely. She also paints a picture of a very different man than in the support letters we saw from the defense. She says that he's unrepentant, he hasn't changed, and she doesn't believe anything the defense says about him changing. She also gave some reflections about the trial as a whole and how the jury failed to see her truth in acquitting him on trafficking charges and racketeering charges. We can get more into that, I'm sure.
For years, people warned this might happen to victims who spoke against Diddy. Jaguar Wright did not hold back while describing how he supposedly feels about Cassie Ventura today. She was asked whether Cassie, now living peacefully with her family, would finally be left alone. And Jaguar's reply essentially was, do not expect it. According to her, the situation could escalate soon.
So Sonia's wondering your thoughts on how Diddy might feel about Cassie now having a beautiful family. Do you think she will finally be left in peace?
Well, I mean, I think it would be wise for people to go back and watch his acceptance speech on BET for his Lifetime Achievement Award. When Young Miami was there as his paramour, holding a banner that says, "Go Daddy."
He thanks her.
And he didn't thank her. He thanked Cassie
For holding it down.
for holding him down through the dark times after she had moved on and married and started a family.
Yeah, and also Cassie for holding me down in the dark times. Love.
Is everyone forgetting how people were saying how Diddy was still approaching Cassie as if they were still in a relationship after she had left him while she was with Mr. Fine, her husband? You heard about that, right? Like he was still pretending, he was still including her in posts while she was a married woman. And people kept, even 50 Cent said something to say about it. Man, when's the time to let go? He said, I don't know when I feel like letting go. He bragged about still going after Cassie while she was newly married and had just had a baby. They're like, but they married, they have a baby. He's like, well, it's my girl. That's how he was still referring to her. And if we pay attention to what the documents in the lawsuit said, after she left him, he came and he assaulted her one more time. So I want you to think about all of that.
It now seems clear to many that Diddy remains fixated on Cassie. His behavior toward her doesn't appear typical. It feels far deeper and honestly much darker. If he couldn't move on after she left him, what could he attempt now that she helped bring attention to everything? Some say this is simply how Diddy behaves. People are noticing it everywhere now. It seems logical he might target Cassie because deep down he feels afraid. He presents himself as tough, yet avoids direct confrontation himself. And do you know what he reportedly resented Cassie for? He resented her because he believed she still cared about Tupac.
Diddy was doing these freak-offs with Cassie. Why do you think that is?
Bruh, I come to find out that, and people gonna think this is weird. Cassie was a die-hard Tupac fan. Cassie loved her some Tupac. Now, she was too young, really, and I don't understand, but somebody close told me that she was a die-hard Tupac fan. And because I believe that Puff may have found that out or known that, he put that against that girl. And he treated her like that because, one, he thought he could get away with it, and two, she had love for Pac. I really believe that. And I know people going to be like, yo, Gene, that's crazy. Yo, Kim Porter loved Pac too. Sarah Chapman loved Pac too. And then I don't understand why he didn't do Sarah like that. But Sarah was a very, very smart girl. She was highly intelligent. So I know he believed that he probably couldn't have got away with doing shit like that with Sarah. You understand? He couldn't do that to Sarah and get away with it. Rough her up a little bit, nah, but to beat her and do the freak offs like that, nah, I don't believe he could do Sarah like that. But you know, she dated Tupac before him. So I believe that she did that with Cassie, not only because he knew he could get away with it, and I think it has something to do with that he didn't like the fact that she liked Tupac.
If Diddy has ran around and threatened every other man that was interested in Cassie while he was busy abusing her, neglecting her, confusing her, why wouldn't we think that he put the moves on Ryan Leslie? I thought it was interesting when he did Drink Champs, because he just recently, not that long ago, did a Drink Champ interview with Nori and them over on the Peer Pressure podcast. I was shocked to see that. I didn't understand the relevance. I didn't understand why he would do anything for a network that was affiliated with Diddy. I didn't get it. Didn't make any sense to me. Not at all. But what I do know is this. Diddy has a history of bullying women into relationships with him and bullying men away from the women that he desires to possess. And I can speak about that very clearly, because that's exactly what he did with Kim Porter, and I'll be sure.
People are already anxious about what Diddy might attempt next. Many believe Cassie could be in serious danger. Some claim that if he chose to, he might try to silence her the same way people speculate about Kim Porter. Kim was also rumored to have been close to revealing information before she unexpectedly died from pneumonia.
Well, I heard that the paperclip party broke that story because it was told to them by Kim's Porter father. That is in the police report. That this is in the police report. That Dallas Austin's daughter, who was a friend of Kim's, left her house at 8 o'clock. That Kim had made a call, 911 call at 2:15 that morning. And I don't know what happened in the 911 call or what was said, but they said that Dallas Austin's daughter, according to Kim's father, was the woman that left her house at 8:15. So she was the last person, according to her, to see Kim alive. And that was broken by the paperclip party because they had a conversation with Kim's Porter father. That's crazy. Now, what was Kim's state? Why did, and in the report, didn't it say she had blood on the pillow and bruises or something like that? The case need to be reopened, man. The case really needs to be reopened. Because if that girl was there and she said that Kim was all right, what happened from 8 to 11? And why did all Kim's stuff come up missing?
Only days before Diddy faced the major federal case, a writer named Chris Todd released a short Amazon book titled Kim's Lost Words, A Journey for Justice from the Other Side. He claimed the story came from Kim Porter herself, despite it being only around 60 pages. The book contains dramatic accounts about Kim and Diddy's relationship. Some sections describe how Kim discovered things she supposedly wasn't meant to see, how Diddy allegedly treated her poorly, and how private life appeared darker than people realized. Many readers doubt the book's authenticity, and several of Kim's close friends publicly called it fake. However, the timing of its release, right when Diddy was arrested, caused renewed attention toward the situation. Kim's former partner, Albie, Sure said she had been working on a project before her death. After she passed away, her computer and important files reportedly vanished. He has been attempting for years to convince authorities to investigate the matter further.
It's a lot of suspect things going on. First and foremost, in our day and time, other than our house key, a woman gonna keep her phone and she got a lot of different purses, but everybody always grab their phone. Why come right till today, right now, nobody knows what Kim Porter phone is? And they know they had iPhones. Why have nobody went to the cloud and got the text messages and the things off her phone? Because everything that came in that phone is text, and your iPhone find my phone. Nobody tried to find the phone? I would love for her son, who has all the rights, to go to and get all the stuff out the clouds. Her last text, who she calling, who she spoke to, who called her, where was the last place her phone was at before it was destroyed and cut off. It will tell you that too.
You personally, what do you think happened to Kim Porter?
I'm not a medical, nor I was an investigator on that case. I don't believe that an individual with her, I want to say, financial status would lay up in the house and die of pneumonia without a doctor or some kind of medical person responsible. So I think it may have been some, I guess, foul play.
Kim and Diddy shared a long, complicated history. They met when Diddy was only an intern and she worked at the front desk. They had children together, separated, reunited, and separated again. Kim claimed he would call constantly, behave controlling, and avoid telling the truth about other relationships. Even after they split, they tried to remain friendly, at least publicly, for the sake of their children. But people close to them said reality was very different. Diddy's former bodyguard, Roger Bonds, stated he personally witnessed Diddy act violently toward Kim multiple times. In another interview, Diddy's ex-security member Gene Deal said Kim had bruises and even a broken nose at certain periods. He also claimed Diddy kept security around Kim's casket constantly, so no one could examine her body. Not only that, but her casket had reportedly been ordered months before she died, and even her funeral appeared unusual to some observers present.
Good job, man. Good job. Good job, dog. How you send somebody home?
And now the situation is resurfacing again due to the new 50 Cent documentary that shows footage of Diddy appearing stressed and arguing with his attorney shortly before his arrest.
Looking at never-before-seen video of Diddy 6 days before his arrest.
We're losing.
Extra with this sneak peek. GMA with even more footage of the disgraced music mogul debating with his legal team about strategy.
I'm going to get off the phone right now, and I am going to let you professionals look at the situation and come back to me with a solution.
It's all a part of the explosive new Netflix documentary out tomorrow.
Everything in life, you're going to have people that are bad and people that are good. You have to choose your side.
Robin Roberts sat down with director Alex Stapleton and executive producer and longtime Diddy critic Curtis Jackson, a.k.a. 50 Cent.
Was there anything that surprised you when you were watching?
You want to put stuff in my fanny pack, King?
I think it was surprising that he actually filmed it.
Go, Shorty. It's your birthday.
The rapper who sold more than 30 million albums worldwide has been locked in a feud with Combs for years, taking online potshots at him after Diddy's arrest.
What they consider a pre-existing beef, right? For 20 years, right? It's me being uncomfortable with him suggesting that he takes me shopping, or I looked at it like it was like a tester. Like, maybe you'll come play with me type of thing, right? And it's not personal.
The show is not completely the perspectives of people that did not like Sean. Not everyone needed to have an allegation to be a part of this project.
Today, Diddy's spokesperson tells the New York Times the footage is from a project Diddy was working on, and none of it was obtained from them. They say they are deeply concerned about the use of what it calls unauthorized material.
If Sean Combs watches this, what do you think he's going to feel?
Like, wow, this is amazing. I think he's going to say this is the best documentary I've seen in a long time. He knows the truth. I think he'll see the truth in it.
TMZ reports Diddy spent Thanksgiving preparing, then serving turkey to fellow inmates at the Fort Dix prison where he's serving his 50-month sentence.
His public image appears to be collapsing, and insiders claim he feels cornered. When powerful individuals feel trapped, they sometimes act desperately. That is why some observers believe alleged victims could now be at serious risk. Reports say Diddy fears exposure so much that his attorney sent Netflix a cease and desist letter demanding they halt the release of Sean Combs. The Reckoning. His representatives told CNN the documentary uses footage they say was stolen and never approved for publication, calling it an unfair attack. He has reportedly recorded himself since age 19, intending one day to produce his own film. The clip Netflix used was filmed only 6 days before his 2024 arrest, and his team insists it belonged to that private project. We will see it tonight, his spokesperson told CNN, adding that neither Netflix nor Mr. Jackson offered a preview screening. Netflix responded through the series director, stating the material was legally obtained and they had full rights to use it. She added they contacted Diddy's legal team for interviews multiple times, but never received a reply.
What else can you tell us about it?
So there's a lot more of this never-before-seen footage, Tom, of Combs having really private conversations with his legal team, and you really get a sense of his mindset ahead of his criminal trial, which is really fascinating for me because he never did any sit-down interviews ahead of the trial. So you finally get to see what his strategy was and how worried he was. But clearly, perhaps he didn't think that he was going to go to prison because he's filming this documentary. You're also going to hear from Aubrey O'Day. She was in the girl band Danity Kane as part of making the band. She has an explosive allegation against Combs. And then there's quite a bit that focuses on the murders of Biggie and Tupac, and people from Combs's inner circle raising a lot of questions. People are going to also have a lot to say about that.
Diddy's attorneys again warned Netflix in writing, stating he has never hesitated to pursue legal action against media companies and would not hesitate now either. This also isn't the first time. Diddy previously sued NBC Universal for $100 million regarding another documentary. His team is particularly upset that Netflix partnered with 50 Cent, describing him as a longtime rival holding a personal grudge. Meanwhile, 50 Cent spends a day on Instagram posting jokes and updates about the documentary series as if he's enjoying every moment of it. So why exactly does 50 dislike Diddy this much today?
You know, you got to look at it like this. 50 was writing a lot of shit that made a lot of money for Diddy. And he knew back then in the day, he didn't know what he know now, but Diddy was robbing him. You understand? You know, bringing those kids in and say, yo, here, write this verse for me, man, for this, stuff like that, and giving them $5,000. You understand? or $10,000, and you making $100,000 or $200,000 or maybe $2 million off of it, or $1 million, whatever the case may be. See, people call that good business. That's not good business. That's taking a person's talent, using it for your own self-indulgence, and not giving him what it's worth. When you could have been teaching these kids, you could have been helping these kids, and maybe these kids would have been helping you at the point you are right now. So, if that's the case, he have every right. But 50 is doing this for the culture. You understand? If it's going to be told, he going to have it, and it's going to be told the right way.
Yeah, man. And 50, he go hard on Diddy, man. It's constant on his Instagram. It's kind of, it's pretty entertaining to see him be so passionate about his hate for Diddy.
Listen, how many of your enemies you love?
While all of this unfolds, Diddy is currently serving a 4-year federal sentence and facing roughly 70 civil lawsuits. His attorneys say he is appealing the conviction and even contacted the Trump administration regarding a possible pardon. Inside the Netflix series, former Donity Kane member Aubrey O'Day also speaks about how she felt treated during her time working with Diddy. Diddy made it clear, "I was the looker," she says in the documentary, explaining how she felt separated and treated differently from the rest of the group. She also stated, "This is your boss at work sending you that email." While describing messages she claimed she received from him, she spoke about eventually being removed from the group and feeling it happened because she did not comply with expectations placed on her. D. Woods also made similar allegations publicly.
Are you afraid in some ways that he'll get out, that there'll be some sort of retribution?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, even doing this, it's like, maybe I shouldn't say, maybe I should stop talking, shut up, but it's like, well, not talking hasn't changed anything either. He did it in different ways with all of us, picking and prodding and just a way to chip and knock away, but then praise you.
How are you dealing with that?
I just had to bite my tongue and let somebody disrespect me in ways that I never imagined, like totally disgusting, totally just grotesque, like about the different parts of my body. Sometimes you're so angry that it brings you to tears, and then also not being able to stand up for myself. Because I knew standing up for myself right now is probably going to bring on more severe, treatment.
I see myself standing in those dark, scary, predatory spaces and hearing somebody say some of the most degrading things to me.
How was it predatory?
Somebody constantly treating you like a piece of meat. Only valuing you for your sex appeal. And in some of the environments, it was even scary to be by yourself.
In the docuseries, D. Woods claims she saw what she says were inappropriate communications from Diddy to Aubrey prior to their firings.
Was there anyone you could have talked to about it?
Absolutely not. Each other.
There was no one to tell?
Because what were they going to do? So it's like, how do we survive this?
And this becomes far more disturbing within its full context because Gene Deal previously claimed Diddy was considering actions against Aubrey and the remaining members of Donity Kane at that time back then.
But there's some artists that didn't say anything, that didn't sign it, and they able to talk about anything they want to. And I think that's those girls that was, I think, Donity Kane. I think a couple of them didn't sign it. And boy, oh boy, they probably gonna go after him too. Cause I heard him, and I'm giving you this, Aubrey. He stood up there and he said in front of a lot of people, we were in the studio, And I said something to him and walked out the studio. He said, yo, I'm going to drug their ass off and pick them up and pimp them out to my nigga. He said, I'm going to drug them out. I'm going to get them all on drugs. And I'm going to pimp their ass out to my nigga. And I was like, there's somebody kids. And walked out. And it's somebody that heard me. It's somebody that heard me. I mean, well, it's not only somebody that heard me, it's somebody that I know who was in the studio at the time that happened, and I still talk to him today. And we were just talking about that the other day. He done moved back to Indiana. I don't know why. I'm going to give you that one. He said he was going to drug them all out and pimp them out.
The public is now finally hearing stories Diddy never intended to surface. Each new revelation makes him appear increasingly desperate. And with Netflix refusing to retreat, audiences are about to witness everything unfold, whether Diddy actually wants that outcome or not.